Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the changes made for Charge Blade in Title Update 4. I know I'm a little late with the video as unfortunately I've been very busy, but you can expect more videos on the update soon. I've played a bit with the new changes, did some 9-star monsters, beat Gogmazios and crafted some of the new Gog Artian Charge Blades, and so far it has felt really fun to play. A lot of the changes they made aren't really that big, like we didn't gain a new offset attack or anything, but it's all very impactful. Matchups I historically complained about like Regios are just fine now. I don't really feel like I'm fighting for openings anymore against faster monsters. So yeah, overall, if you wanted to know if Charge Blade was fixed, then yeah it was, it's better than ever. Aside from the direct changes to Charge Blade, it's also benefited the most from the guard and elemental changes. Charge Blade's element files allow it to deal elemental damage a lot more directly than other weapons, even allowing it to partially bypass soft caps. And now they've raised the elemental damage cap, and Charge Blade's damage has just gone a bit insane. I don't think Charge Blade was ever really struggling for damage. It was always matchup and opening issues that I complained about. So having both the damage raised and the issues fixed has kinda just broken this weapon. SAD, the big explosion attack that I love, didn't really get any changes, and honestly, I can see why. It does such an absurd amount of elemental damage now that it kinda warrants the time it takes to land the attack. Guard Up also got a change where it now reduces some of the damage you take regardless of what you're guarding against, and this has just been so helpful. You inherently want the perfect guard and guard point a lot as Charge Blade. Now you're able to do that without slowly losing your health bar to chip damage. I've seen a few people say that you can react faster after a perfect guarding now when you take knockback, but I haven't really been able to test it myself. Overall, really amazing changes to the flow of the weapon, and perhaps a bit of an overcorrection in terms of damage, but we'll see. So, before we begin the breakdown, I think you should like and subscribe. Yeah? Now, actually, before we begin the breakdown, I should mention that I use Rapid Morph and Guard Up on all my Charge Blade sets. They just feel a bit mandatory for how I personally like to play, so you will be seeing them in all my footage. Now, let me break down the changes in more detail. Arguably, the most impactful change is that all Savage Axe ticks have now been significantly sped up. So when you're holding the attack button down and you get those extra axe hits before the update, this would slow down your attacks as the axe would kind of get stuck in the part you're hitting. Now it just glides through like butter. There's little to no difference between executing the attacks normally and getting the extra hits. I've done a bit of a rough comparison here. I don't believe it's entirely accurate, but it should give you an idea of how much time has been saved thanks to this change. It's roughly a 40 frame difference, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it makes a big difference considering every axe attack you do now has reduced frames. Moving on to some of the smaller changes, perfect guarding into Savage Axe Slash now does significantly more raw damage, and the perfect guard window when morphing from axe to sword mode has been increased to make it a bit easier to get a perfect guard off them. I've actually had this save me so many times, as now your shield might not even be up yet and it'll trigger a perfect guard near the end of the morph animation. You'll also generally morph from axe to sword a lot faster now, letting you be a lot safer in how you play. Element Discharge 1 and 2 can now also cancel into Morph Slash, making these attacks extremely safe options for when you have small openings. Element Discharge 2 in specific can be cancelled after the first swing, so you don't have to commit to both swings anymore. And finally, my favorite change to the Charge Blade is the changes to the focus attack, Double Rend. Before, this attack was really bad. It sends you flying back, putting you far away enough from the monster to where you can't really get an opening, like not a good one anyway. It's especially hurt against the openings some monsters have, where if you focus attack at the right time, it'll give you a unique opening. Now you're able to cancel Double Rend into Morph Slash, allowing you to advance with your attacks and fully abuse the openings given to you by wounds and temporary weak points. I cannot state enough how amazing this change is. I actively find myself going for those monster specific openings now, as you can often get at least 2 AEDs off before having to retreat back into sword mode. This change alone honestly helps alleviate some of the painful monster matchups, as it gives you guaranteed openings against monsters with abusable weak points such as Regios. Overall, I'm extremely happy with all the changes they made to Charge Blade in this update, and I think it's more than enough to make it an enjoyable weapon to use against the majority of monsters and wilds. I'd say a bit of a pain point is still activating Savage Axe and Charge Sword. In multiplayer hunts, it can be a bit of a nightmare to get your Savage Axe up if the monster refuses to target you and there are no wounds. But other than that, I can't really complain. I don't think these were the changes any Charge Blade player would have made, if I'm being honest, so a lot of us, including me, went straight to suggesting very extreme changes, but this just goes to show that the Monster Hunter team knows their stuff when balancing the weapons. They just need enough time to execute it properly. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you enjoy my content and want to see more from me, I'd appreciate if you could subscribe. And hey, maybe you should check out this video that I hope YouTube is properly recommending to you right now.